The Gemara in Birchos on Daf Yud Gimel and Yudalid brings a machlokas between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda in regards to when one may interrupt during Birchos Krias for the sake of conversation. There are, in terms of the brachos, there are two gaps of time, two time periods which are discussed, and that is in the middle of the bracha, be'emtza habracha, and in between paragraphs called bein haprakim. There's really a third which is in the middle of a sentence, but we will keep that aside for now, and the two primary categories are in the middle of a paragraph and in between paragraphs. According to Rabbi Meir, one may, in the middle of a paragraph, converse with someone of whom they are fearful of, and in between paragraphs, they may converse with someone out of respect, out of honor. And we will define who those people are momentarily. Whereas Rabbi Yehuda says there's a hierarchy, and there's a difference between initiating and responding. So Rabbi Yehuda says that in the middle of a paragraph, one may initiate only out of fear, but may respond out of respect. And in between paragraphs, one may initiate out of respect and respond to any individual. So again, according to Rabbi Meir, in the middle of a paragraph, one may converse, both initiate and respond, but only out of fear. And in between paragraphs, one may initiate and respond out of fear and out of respect, but not to any individual. Rabbi Yehuda says in the middle of a paragraph, you may initiate out of fear, but only respond out of respect. And in between paragraphs, one may initiate out of respect, but may respond to any individual. So who are these people that we fear and that we respect? So that itself is the subject of the machlokas in the Rishonim. According to Rashi and the Rambam, someone who we fear refers to someone who has the power of life and death, and we are fearful for our life. In other words, a robber, a king, someone with such power that if I'm fearful for my life, then I can respond. But the Rosh and Rashba asked the question, which probably most of us are thinking, which is, what do you mean? That's the concept of pikuach nefesh that we always have. Anytime I'm fearful for my life, I can violate any, except for the big three, but I can violate almost any halacha that's required of me because of the sake of pikuach nefesh. So therefore, the Rosh and Rashba say, no, what the Gemara means here is that not mishum pikuach nefesh, but someone who we are obligated to fear. In other words, our parents or our primary teacher are people who we are obligated to fear, and therefore that is who Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda are referencing when discussing someone who we fear. In terms of someone who we honor, then, the way they explain it is that refers to any Talmud Chacham or any elderly individual or otherwise particularly prestigious person. So that is, in fact, how Shulchan Aruch rules in terms of who it means that we fear, who it means that we respect. And Shulchan Aruch rules like Rabbi Yehuda. So it comes out that according to Shulchan Aruch, that in the middle of a paragraph, one may initiate out of fear. In other words, even for my Rebbe, for my parents, right? I can even initiate to, and I can respond out of respect. So if there's someone who's not my Rebbe, but is tremendous Talmid Chacham, or someone who is an elderly individual, I may then respond to them even in the middle of the paragraph. In between paragraphs, I can even initiate to such people, to Talmidei Chachamim, to elderly individuals or a particularly prestigious person, and I may respond to any individual at all. And Mishnah Berurah, though, quotes from the Sefer HaChinuch that this may not apply so much today. It may not be so relevant because today we understand the general etiquette, which is we don't talk during Krias. We don't talk during Krias. We don't talk during Birchos Krias, and therefore no one's going to get insulted. So even though strict halacha may allow me to respond to any individual or even initiate to someone that I must respect, that may not apply today, since everyone understands that there's nothing personal and that we just don't talk during these times. If someone doesn't understand that may be a different story. However, it is important to be aware of this hierarchy that Rabbi Yehuda presents and that's brought down in Shulchan Aruch as well for other possible interruptions, perhaps interruptions with about when can we answer Amen or different parts of Tefillah, or maybe some other situations, or if we have to interrupt, maybe to understand that it's better to do it in between paragraphs, and there'd be other circumstances and other ramifications as well. But in terms of strictly conversing or even responding to someone else who initiates with me, then that may be less relevant today, now that the etiquette people understand that we just simply do not talk and do not respond even during Birchos Krias, even in between Birchos Krias. But again, hopefully we will discuss this a little bit more at length in the coming days. Have a fantastic